Hi there, Rob Green here from the GRM Group, CEO. I just wanted to jump on quickly and talk about the brain drain that is affecting many African markets, but specifically about South Africa this morning, because there was an article in one of my favourite publications, as those of you who listen regularly will know, the Daily Investor. And I'm just going to see if I can share my screen, actually. I think I'll share the screen. This one. There we go. And hopefully you can all see that. And this was an article brought out today on their newsletter by Sean Jacobs, who writes some fantastic pieces. War for talent as skilled professionals flee South Africa. And I wanted to talk specifically about how that is affecting the legal market and whether it actually is. So this is obviously details that have come out. I will put the link below. This has come out from Momentum, and they're talking about, they put it in their annual report that the war for talent, particularly for actuaries, IT specialists, and other technical professions, acute critical skills crisis, especially African, coloured, and Indian skills, due to increased local and international competition and immigration. And it goes further down, talking about skill shortages worsened by the immigration of skilled personnel. Reserve Bank mentions it as well. Then someone called Imran Nagy from the Auditors Board saying that the industry has lost its luster because of high entry requirements to study accounting, high tuition fees, low pay, high work stress, and negative publicity about the auditing profession. I don't necessarily agree with that, to be honest, but again, he's in it. I'm a mere recruiter to that industry and others. But let's just go back to this war for talent and what they talk about in regards to South Africans fleeing South Africa, and whether that's actually true, and when it happens and why it happens, and that kind of thing. Specifically with the legal market. Okay, so again, apologies to those who listen to me regularly, and I repeat myself often, but let's get it straight. I've got 21 years of recruitment and executive search experience, 7 of them in Africa, well over a decade in Asia, Europe, the Americas, the Middle East, Australia. We used to have an office everywhere, and there's similar patterns, and we can forecast quite easily. When it comes to the South African legal market, every 5 years, it's cyclical. The last one just being in 2021. So in 2026, come back to me and see if I'm wrong. Every 5 years, there is it's almost as if the foreign markets wake up and go, oh, there's some really good lawyers down there. Oh, and compared to the salaries we pay here, they're cheap. Let's get them up. It's almost like they forget for a while, and then they do it every 5 years without fail. So I try to warn my clients and our clients about that and say, prepare for 2026. There's going to be a rush on your 3 to 6 year PQE attorneys. So let's see if it happens again in 3 years' time, nearly only 2 years' time. South Africans are, across different professions, are very highly sought after. They're well educated, they're hardworking, they're transient in terms of the fact that they will move. Salaries are paid that are higher overseas, and they have a largely Commonwealth law background, and so therefore, they're highly sought after. Occasionally, but I wouldn't necessarily say that is out of the norm. It's always been the case since the early 2000s that South Africans have been highly sought after for international moves, and many South Africans will move overseas and they will build a life overseas. That it's not. I would go out on a limb and say that it's no more now than it's ever been in the past. So I'm not disagreeing with Mr. Jacobs' article. I'm not disagreeing with those in the profession and Momentum putting it into their annual report. I'm certainly not disagreeing with people, because it is a problem. But I actually think the problem goes a little bit further, and I think we need to look at absolutely everything, and it starts for me at education. and it says there that there's higher. I can't remember the word he used. And see if I can find it quickly down the bottom. The audit industry CEO said the industry has lost its luster because of high entry requirements to study accounting. Just going to let that settle for a while, because for things like accounting and law, you should have high level. It should be hard to get in. You want to continue to make sure that your best students are studying banking and auditing and accounting and law. So what worries me there is that he's bringing that up as an opportunity to be looked at, and maybe we should downgrade the level of quality that comes in. No, I think that's going to be very worrying. So the brain drain will always happen. It's something that happens all the time, and it's just something that companies have to get used to, whether that's locally or internationally. And keep looking after your staff, keep challenging them, keep giving them opportunities, give them the right training, give them the right environment, and you'll be okay.